This is ST-321, code clearance blue. We're starting our approach to deactivate the security shield.
Hi, I'm Paul and I'm with my mate James and welcome to Code Clearance Blue, a show where we discuss all things Star Wars from our home here in the UK.
We would be honoured if you would join us.
I've been looking forward to this.
He's going home, he's going home, he's going, Torbin's going home. Welcome to a new episode of Code Clearance Blue. Paolo and myself are pretty happy. England's football team have got through to the final of the Euros. We beat the Dutch last night 2-1. And I just thought it was like a nice little callback to Torbin, I want to go home, master.
Oh, mate. There's a lot of that.
He's had enough of picking up moss and twigs.
He did, didn't he? Oh, mate, he loved a little moan. He loved a little Jedi moan, didn't he? Little Jedi moan.
Just a bit of a moan up. Just a
I want
bit.
to go home. I want to go back to Coruscant.
It's like having a little kid in the back seat.
It's, yeah. We'll go into obviously a lot more detail review because it was a good day yesterday. Sort of both counts where we get to watch that new episode.
Yeah.
Of the Acolyte, and then obviously watch some football in the evening. So it was very good.
Yeah, it was a good day. Ollie Watkins, last minute goal. Always good when you're on the right side of those. And yeah, brand new Acolyte. And also I had to go to my son's end of school year extravaganza.
Oh, did you? I did as well, yeah.
Oh, did you?
Little play.
Oh, what did you get?
Got 3 dance routines. And my daughter said one line, but then the kid after jumped on her line and she looked at him like really like she's going to knock him out. So, yeah. He got a bit excited, when he just said his line a bit too early. Yeah, so that was quite good.
Nice.
It's the day of performances.
Yeah, absolutely. Big performances all round.
Big performance, and then big performance from Torbin and Soul and our Jedi gang, which are very intriguing, aren't they? When they were so obviously we knew this flashback was coming. So I got a hint of this the other day because they announced like the director, and it was the same one as episode 3. So then I think okay, right, it's the same.
Ah, yes.
This definitely means we're getting a bit of a flashback confirmation, and then obviously we knew we were going to get a flashback confirmation, so we'd be tipping it, aren't we? And I suppose my first sort of impression was obviously we start off where we are, and then that it's definitely this Jedi point of view, so it's the same but different. And as soon as we see, well, they were having a little forage. I thought it was quite funny seeing a Wookiee with a metal detector.
I know. It's just like he's gone off looking for Roman coins. The farmer found some on his land last week, and everyone's coming over with their detectors now, thinking they can find a buried crown or something.
Yeah. What did you think of all that?
I thought it was fine. I mean, it was a bit weird to see like an actual metal detector because they didn't really dress it up or anything, did they?
No.
They didn't put some sparkling lights on it or a control panel or anything. So it was a little bit odd, but I mean, the overall thing, like you could kind of sense the ennui between them, and they're kind of just like gathering information about the local terrain and all that sort of thing. And then obviously Torbin's like, oh, we've been here 7 weeks. And we found nothing. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of worked on that, but they talk really quick. They talk really early in the episode about like that they're looking for a vergence in the Force. Like they mentioned it pretty quick, don't they?
Yeah, and they explain it as well.
Yeah,
obviously what a vergence is, and so we sort of get all that out of the way very early.
But it just struck me as a little bit odd that they'd been there for 7 weeks and they were still just kind of like hovering along, looking at moss and stuff.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a vergence in the Force, surely you'd be like kind of what Soul does later on when he's like actually like walking around the planet, looking at different places and stuff, mate. I don't know, but
yeah.
I mean, you'd like to think if they've been there for 7 weeks, they probably would have already stumbled across that big yellow tree or the or the castle even. I don't know, but
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, and then obviously Wookiees love to cook, man. We have a little campfire section where we have a little bit of a holiday special where we're having a bit of barbecuing,
yeah,
a bit of Last Jedi barbecuing.
yeah. And again, someone refuses it, like Osha did in the last
Mm,
episode. Torby's
yeah.
like, "No, I'm not hungry." He's a bit of a sullen teenager vibe coming off of
You
him.
know who it reminds me of?
Go on.
Frodo Baggins, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Come on, Mr. Frodo.
Cheer yourself up there, Mr. Frodo.
Yeah, definitely Frodo Baggins. Nice little curly wig on,
Yeah.
quite youthful.
I'll tell you what, I love Soul's Beatles cut.
Yeah,
You know, this is how we're going to make you look younger.
yeah. I'm gonna give you a little 60s haircut.
Yeah. Love it.
And then that's where they obviously talk about their concentration of the force energy and all the rest of it. But obviously we see the whole gang there, which is obviously why we need to. Well, it's quite interesting. Um,
Yeah. And also, I thought it was interesting that I think just before that, at the end of the first scene, where Indara and Soul have a bit of a conversation, and we kind of learn that Soul hasn't got a Padawan
yes,
and he's not a teacher at all. Like he must have like maybe not been a master, a Jedi Knight, maybe, or at that point rather than a master.
yeah, because when a bit later in the episode, she says, "I'm Master Endura. This is Soul."
Yeah. These
And
are my
this is my
colleagues.
Padawan. Yeah, this is my Padawan. And yeah, she in that particular moment, the bit you're talking about, she has a little dig saying, "That's why you don't have a Padawan." Little Jedi in joke there.
It's true though, because she's like, I'm not trying to make my Padawan feel better about the situation. I'm trying to get him to learn how to like seek the answers himself.
Yeah,
But obviously, as we learn quite a lot in this episode, but we've kind of seen it building up incrementally across the series, is that Soul really does rely a lot on his emotions, doesn't he?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely this one, which I think some of it might need explaining. But yeah, I think because this is what's sort of throwing me a little bit because Master Endura, like obviously now this is the first step we really get to know her. You know what I mean? She's playing it by the book. Do you know what I mean? She plays it by the book. Now let's go to the council. Let's not get emotionally involved. Let's just, she's the Jedi that we know of, basically. Then we've got like the others who are very emotional. Do you know what I mean? Like Soul's very emotional throughout this whole series, which I've obviously said, reminds me a bit more like Qui-Gon because Qui-Gon was a rebel sort of Jedi. That's why he was never sort of on the council. Why would they give you the council master? That kind of thing. And, and he just liked roaming the galaxy. But yeah, I don't know. It's not confusing because it's quite nice to see that you don't just stay on track. But yeah, it's just obviously we later on in episode 1 we see them all very Jedi like, as we appreciate. So I don't know whether that's sort of justifying Qui-Gon because there's a lot of in this ep, as we'll come on to, there's a lot of like similarities with Qui-Gon finding Anakin and Soul finding this and the way they react and they're very, very similar. So I don't know if that's just put in there just to justify it one and why he done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't want to confuse you even further, but at the end of the episode, and we'll get there obviously, but Indara doesn't play it by the book then.
No, she doesn't. You're right.
Yeah. So, but we'll come to that.
Yeah.
We'll come to that. But yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. So
think
yeah.
we
So
can-
what? So they decide. So Soul, we obviously see Soul doing is like sneaking around.
Yeah, a bit sneaky. And then that's when we realise, oh, okay, we're seeing this thing again, but from a different point of view.
Oh yes.
As a wise old Herman once said. Sorry, strange old Herman once said.
Herman. Herman and the Hermits.
Little Herman.
Oh, we've lost Paolo. Right, I'll take over for a minute.
Sorry.
Dreaming of Herman Munster.
That's it.
Yeah, Yeah, so he was doing that, and then obviously we see from his point of view, like the twins by the tree, and then Mother Coral coming in, and he's like, "Oh my God, there's people here. What's going on?" And but he sees May using the Force, doesn't he? So he's like, "Right,
Yeah,
let's."
or something. He's like, "Are you there, Andrea? Are you there?"
Yeah, but then it's a classic Star Wars, isn't it? Like, do you copy? Do you read me? And it's like no one's there, and he's like, "I'm gonna have to go and do this on my own."
I'm gonna have to do this on my own. Yeah, and then
Brilliant.
with old Frodo.
Yeah, so he goes scaling up the wall, doesn't he? Because he can't get in.
Can't get into this massive Castle Grayskull.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. And then he sees them doing the training bit inside that room, and then obviously that he disturbs them. The Mother Coral does that thing that they do in films and TV where they just go like looking like that side to side, like
Yeah,
where's that noise
yeah,
coming
yeah.
from? But she takes it very seriously, very quickly, don't they? Because they're like, get the children out of the room, like someone's here. It's like,
Yeah.
all you heard was like a little bang or something. Like,
They got a little gut feeling, haven't they? A little Jedi
yeah, definitely,
feeling.
definitely.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, what was quite good about that is obviously seeing the same scene again from a different angle. So we're definitely reaffirming this is the Jedi's point of view. You know, this is sort of the way we're unraveling it, which I thought was quite good because it's. And then, yeah, the witch magic was good.
Mm.
And then Sol then goes back, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's just like, look, we're not alone. There's other people here.
All these readings for this last 7 weeks are worth it.
Yeah, Torbin's like practically salivating. Like, what? We've actually got some action. Okay,
Can we go home yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah. So they're just like, right, we better go and investigate and see what's going on. I quite like the bit where they're outside and Kalnaka's obviously like tripping the wires on the lift.
Brilliant.
That's very
Love that. I love
very
that.
Jedi Fallen Order. That was like just
Right.
the scene of it, like the way it looked. The fact that it's like they called it an elevator that was part of an old mining shaft and stuff is very, very much taken from that game. And Indara Reasons even says the word like slice it open sort of thing, which is like slice is the term for when you break down like a door that you can't get through. Like you have to use your little BD1 droid to get you in.
Nice.
I was like, oh, that's nice. Nice
Love
little
that
callback.
shit. Love that. Yeah. But yeah, so this is a bit because obviously when they're having a meeting before they go back and break in, obviously Sol's really worried about the girls.
Yeah, so they did this pretty quick, didn't they? Like,
yeah, I just didn't know. I didn't quite. And this is what I wanted to sort of talk to you about. What you thought about it? Like, obviously, he's just seen a couple of girls in the woods, right, playing Jedi power, you know, and then he's really involved with them, like, as in, like, they're even related to, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's known them for years.
Yeah,
because he says, "Oh, I'm really worried about the girls." It's like, but you've only just fucking met him.
Yeah.
What are you worried about?
So I wonder if because I think when they decide to go to the castle, I think like him and Endara have another little chat, don't they? And she's like, don't let your like emotions cloud your judgment, sort of thing. Like,
yeah,
because he's like they're training them, but like there's no other children there. And like I fear that they're not safe and stuff like that, because obviously as we're learning, like the Jedi kind of have carte blanche to kind of go into places, and if there's kids who've got force sensitivity, they can be like, can we borrow them to see if they can join our crew?
Yeah, I get it. I just thought it was quite a lot of emotional involvement for somebody you've just met. That was my sort of confusion with it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I don't know if they maybe
but
didn't
I
make
just
it
don't know
quite...
if he's because he's so emotional as a character that like maybe when he's picking a bit of grass, he's getting quite into that. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like he's just that kind of bloke.
Yeah.
You know? Like, he's just all in. He's quite Mediterranean or something. It's very emotional. Gets straight in there, even though you've only met him for 2 minutes in a bar.
Yeah, true. They're already inviting you around for like dinner and all that.
Yeah.
I I don't know if they made it clear enough then that like maybe when he was following them or something, maybe he felt a connection with Osha, but they didn't really kind of show us that very well.
Yeah.
Um,
That's all my confusion this ep. I thought how
okay.
he was just really like into the character, like into the girls, and really worried about these girls, and
Mm.
without by just literally just watching them for 5 minutes in the woods. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you know what? Like the other point could be, you know how strong a feeling Torben has about going home, for example.
Yeah,
Maybe because Sol and Endara were having that chat about the fact that he hasn't got like a Padawan and he's not a teacher, etc. Like maybe he's craving to do that so badly that he's just like, oh my God, there's like two young kids over there. They're force sensitive. Maybe, you know, if we take them back with us, maybe I could become like one of the, because we found them. Maybe I can take one of them to be my
yeah,
Padawan. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
And that's that kind of thin line yet again that's being highlighted in this whole series about, you know, what the Jedi have to walk. It's such a tightrope for them
yeah,
to fall off of it. It's mad. This episode particularly for me is like really like hammered it home yet again that it's just it's a fucking ball ache being a Jedi.
yeah. Definitely,
Do you know what I mean? You
it is
can't.
monk. It is monk-like behavior. You can't
Yeah,
do anything.
you can't do anything really. Like,
And as
I've,
soon as you start going off it, you need obviously that master above you just to say, no, 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 come back in, check it in.
yeah,
Don't get too emotional in it, don't get too this, don't, you know.
yeah.
And then obviously you can see why people just get pissed off and go, oh, fuck this, and you know, they go the other way.
Yeah, definitely. That kind of links towards what Quimir was saying in episode 6, where he's just like, you know, you don't have to break any rules if you don't follow them, and I can
Mm,
do whatever I want. And the Jedi want to get rid of me because I don't like follow their strict code and everything. And it's like, yeah, I suppose, you know, how far removed from the Jedi ethos do you have to be for the Jedi to then consider you to be a threat, you know,
yeah.
and actually take you out. But yeah, anyway, getting back
So
to
yeah, they go
episode
as a
7,
team, they break into the castle.
yeah, they go and have that meeting, and but obviously this time we see what happens to poor old Torben when he gets possessed.
Oh man, that's like that was really good scene. That was
Mm.
really, really good. I haven't sort of seen that before. The fact that she just takes him over and and guess what? What do you want? I want to go home. I couldn't believe it.
She's just like,
I thought she was gonna say. I thought he was gonna say, "I want all the power in the universe," or like, do you know, something really profound. I
yeah.
want my mum back. I want to go home. I want a snack.
Give me an apple.
Yeah, you hungry? You bit hungry, are you? All right, here's a snack.
You've done a lot of traveling today. Come on.
These spells are quite tiring.
She was just like, she was just kind of like any like dark desire or like anything you crave,
Yeah,
you know, and all that. He's just like, I want to go home to Coruscant.
want to go. Oh, Frodo Baggins again. He just wants to go back to the fucking Shire.
He's like, I've dropped the ring in the forest somewhere. I can't find it. Fuck this.
Going, he's been
Count
good
Necker, get
magic.
that metal detector.
But when he's like that, it was again like very Frodo when Frodo put the ring on and he has that big flash, you know what I mean, where he goes invisible and he goes like that big effect around him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought, sorry man, I know I keep bringing up Lord of the Rings, but which is not good. But yeah, so yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I really like that scene. I know I've just taken the piss out of it, but I did like that. I thought it was really good seeing sort of this how you know the obviously we've seen this before when his eyes go black in Ep 3, but sort of see what happens.
Yeah. So I know we're like making light of it and stuff, but like it, do you think maybe it's such a simple like desire that he's got because he's young and he might be homesick or whatever. It's quite easy for someone, and in this case, it's Mother Anastasia, like to prey on that and
Yeah,
really ramp it up, you know, like just trying to
and
think of it from a story point of view, you know, like obviously,
also it's setting up what happens later with Kanaka, right? You know what I mean? What's happening later, as in
Yeah.
the witches take over his mind. You know what I mean? So obviously, this is just like how easy it is to take over the minds.
Yes, but we'll talk
Do you
about that
think?
when we get there. But yeah, it's a good point. They do sit. I think that's obviously one of their staple powers, isn't it? That they can
Yeah,
do mind control and stuff. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, but yeah. So obviously they agree to take the girls back the next day, which we see. But again, we get a nice little chat between Endara and Sol, don't we? And
very
Dara's just
good.
like, look, don't confuse what Osha wants and what you want. Don't muddy the waters and stuff. So again, I got a sense then that they're really pushing the fact that Soul, like he just like, I don't know if he's trying to, no pun intended, like force the situation with Osha, because when
Yeah,
they,
well, this again, I mean, this reminded me of what just like it's very Qui-Gon, right? Because obviously there's a big sort of plot thing with Phantom Menace, which is why is Qui-Gon put everything on the line just to get this boy? Do you know what I
mm,
mean?
mm,
And why was he massively connected to Anakin? Why did he risk everything? You know, like Padme says, why are we putting all our hope in this boy? Do you know what I mean? Like just to get some ships, you know what I mean? Some parts for a ship, and also he wants the boy. You know what I mean? Like, and Soul's sort of doing the same thing.
mm,
He's really trying to risk everything just to get Osha, really, because. And then she says, "Yeah, what Osha wants with what Osha wants and what you want, two different things, or is it what you want?" That was it.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and then again, it's like it's sort of helps with this sort of Qui-Gon soul. You know what I mean? These very similar characters where they're like, why do they want these kids? You know what I mean? Like he really senses that there's something strong about this kid. You know what I mean?
mm.
And the same with Qui-Gon before he even done the little blood test.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It really annoyed me when Torben done the blood test on May, because he just stabbed it through her shirt.
Yeah,
It's like you might get a little bit of like schmutz or something off of that and might muddy the waters, but yeah.
yeah,
Anyway, but yeah, that's true. And also, like, there was a scene when they expanded the scene when they were doing the tests, like May was actually quite chatty to Indara, wasn't she? She was kind of
mm,
saying, telling her what the ascension was and stuff, and like she didn't really seem kind of scared or stubborn. Like she's just kind of like, yeah, it's this, so we do that. Can I go home now? Like,
yeah,
whatever. And then when Soul's testing Osha, like, and Dara's kind of looking, like, you can see she's sensing, and she's kind of like you kind of helped her, Soul, like
yeah.
kind of feeding her lines, like kind of like maybe sort of like telling her mentally, oh, it's a ship or whatever, you know what I mean, sort of thing.
Mm.
Um, so he's already done it, like in terms of forming an emotional attachment.
Yeah,
I think.
totally. And it's just be yeah, totally yes. And I mean even Arsenal Jones a little bit before says, they're too old to join the order, like it's that
Yeah,
classic little line come out already.
yeah.
Get a nice little menace tie in there.
Hmm.
Um and yeah, and then you're right, it's like one telling the truth, one telling the lies, and then obviously they knew that she was telling May was telling the lies, and we've seen that all before a little bit. That didn't feel like it was there was that much difference between what we saw before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It
But
felt
also,
like
oh, sorry, can't carry on.
just felt a little bit repeated.
Yeah, and also as well, it's kind of like that kind of black and white thing, isn't it? Where like he's going after Osha because she's expressed an interest in becoming a Jedi, and May hasn't, and it's like, so he's literally divided them, being like, well, I want Osha, and if May doesn't want to come, I don't care. Whereas actually, in actual fact, if they're following the codes, they should take both of them, really. Um,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? So that comes into play later on, obviously with the bridge and like who he saves and everything, I suppose. But
Yeah, that again, I think that's it's definitely setting that up because he has to pick one. But
yeah,
yeah, I think again, it's very, very emotionally attached for something he's only known for about 10 minutes, well,
yeah,
less than a day. He found them in the morning. They went back in the afternoon. The next day, that was it. Next day they came over for a test.
no,
So
don't
yeah,
muck around, these Jedi's.
no, they don't. They don't. So he must have a feeling about it. But um, and yeah, obviously Osha sort of passed, and then and then sort of then there's a bit of another menace sort of reference is that the council say no.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So they go. I think they go out to the forest, and Juris sort of stays back, doesn't she? And then she comes back, and then Sol goes, "I've got a bad feeling. What is it?" Doesn't
yeah.
say
But
bad feeling.
I wonder why he said that though, because he literally says that at the start of the scene. Like, I've got like a
Mm.
bad feeling, like
And then she
something's gone
comes
wrong or
through.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, she comes through and said, "Yeah, the council said no, come home. We get involved too much."
yeah. And then Torben's like, "Oh, I've got the results in. The results are in."
Yeah, well, that's is okay. So this is it, right? So then, obviously, we get the results in. We find that there's symbiont parts, which we find again, nice little menace sort of reference because he talks about symbionts and that, and then Frodo Baggins just goes nuts,
Hmm.
doesn't he?
Yeah,
Just
but
goes, "This is how we could go home. See you later." Fucks off with a speeder, and he's like, "Well, where are you going? What are you doing?" It's like,
yeah, but
I'm off.
I tell you, in his defense though, they've been there for like 7 weeks looking for a virgins. Do you know what I mean? And now they found one. He's like, right, let's just sort it out and we can piss off.
Oh, but like, it's a bit dramatic, isn't it? A bit of a like, do you not want to just sit down and have a little chat? But again, it get an emotional thing, like, right, he's getting emotionally involved. He's
Yeah,
can't control himself.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's what I
so
mean. So you can't, because
Master
you
Endora is
can't.
like, whoa, hang on a minute, you've going off the rule. Everyone's going off the fucking scale here.
She can't manage the group.
She can't.
She's like, I'm carrying the can when we get back to Coruscant. You lot are all making me look like a right mug.
Yeah,
But that's the thing, though, isn't it? You can't like physically remove emotion out of people as much as you can, as much as you try and train it out of them or whatever. That's
yeah.
why it's so hard to be like, I suppose, like a straight up Jedi in that respect.
Well, but we do see straight up. This is my point. So like later, now 100 years later, we do just see straight up Jedi, really, don't we? Because even like they're all they don't really get emotional, do they?
No, not
In that
really,
way,
until
if you think
Anakin comes
about
along.
until Anakin comes along, yeah.
Hmm.
So again, is this sort of part of like not a cult of like, but do they obviously get a bit stricter in their training
Yeah,
during that
maybe.
period?
Yeah.
Is this all deliberate, showing like these highly charged emotional Jedi?
Yeah, which I think is great though, because it's certainly fascinating to watch.
Yeah, because
Um,
it gives them excuse, doesn't it? Because it's way before the time we ever knew. So you can go, right, okay, let's go off on one a little bit. We've got loads more Jedi we can play around with.
yeah.
Let's make them a bit more emotional. Let's make them a little bit, yeah, they can spin over to the dark side pretty easily. Or
So do we
I don't
think
know.
in regards to this symbiont business, do we think it was a symbiont that was given to the witches to convert, or is it something they've just done themselves?
I got the feeling, yeah, they just done it themselves. But
Hmm.
do you think that it's come from another person and they've just gone to the witches and gone, look, you guys know a bit of magic, just see what you can do with it.
Yeah, maybe, maybe. I mean,
I'm a Dark Lord.
but the only thing against that is they are very motherly towards them though. So I don't know.
They are, yeah. Well, I mean, she said a line a little bit later, which was something along the lines of, "Why would you want them to join an institution instead of a family?" And I thought
Yeah,
that was a
good.
fucking great one liner. I mean, this comes a little bit later, so I can. Um,
Yeah, it's a good show.
those and yeah, one line she said, "Those noble intentions will destroy the Jedi, every Jedi in the galaxy."
Yes, I wrote that down as well.
It's like fucking you beauty.
Yeah, it's like Mystic Meg.
Fucking see it, yeah,
You've seen it. Yeah, little bit on the nose because obviously, given what
yeah,
we know, what happens. But yeah, I
yeah.
mean, that's a good point. Well, yeah. So, but just before that happens, obviously
Mm,
they convene a council of the coven, don't they? And they're all standing there like, and this
yeah,
is what I mean by like, so like they're actually like Mother Anastasia is actually like quite a good mum because she's listened to what Osha wants, even though she's quite young. And she's like, okay, if that's what you desire, then
yeah.
we'll let you go. And then the coven are like, well, you can't just let them go. Like, what about us
Mm,
as well? You got to think about us. And she's like, I'm a mother. or whatever, whatever the line was.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, Mrs. Moore, whatever her name is, she's winding up, mate. She said, "Come on, mate, give me some.
Yes.
Let's fucking do it."
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, she literally just like, get mad.
Yeah,
She's like, go and get mad. Go and stop. Like, just go and stop her. Like, do you think she's going to be Quaimir's master?
she's definitely got a lot going on, isn't she?
Do you think she's going to pop up at least in the last ep? Like, not in a flashback though.
I don't remember if we ever see her die. When we see her a little bit later, I don't think
Yeah.
she's in that crew.
No, because she disappears, doesn't she?
Yeah,
So I don't know if she. Yeah, I don't know if she falls in the battle or not. But the scope is there for her to still be alive. So
and as long as she has a lightsaber and a son called Darth Maul. So. Darth, no, that's not his name.
she's like, I created this one myself.
His name was Pete Maul.
Peter Maul. But yeah, so that's when. So obviously the Jedi are like, well, we better get back in, and then because old Torbin's gone mental and jumped on his speeder bike.
Fucking Frodo.
He's just gone mad, isn't he? He's just like, yes, this is our ticket out of here. Come on. And him and Sol go scaling up the wall again and get inside, and then Dara and Kalneka have to take the ship. And they're just like, yeah, that's when they have that little chat, and he's like, Sol's literally like, we're here. Like she calls like, if you take one more step, it'll be your last. And he's like, no, we're here with noble intentions. And she's just like, Mother Anasai's like, those noble intentions will eventually see the Jedi destroyed or something. Like,
yeah,
pretty naughty. But then it's just like May runs in after starting the fire, which we then learn that she tried to put out. She only meant to burn the book, didn't she? She wanted to burn the book because she didn't like the symbol, but it obviously got out of hand, and then she was trying to put it out. But all Osha could see was her burning the book and looking a little bit sullen and stuff. So she was like, what are you doing? And so we kind of got the whole flip of that.
Yeah.
So May
but before that, then obviously she gets murdered, doesn't it? Mother Witch gets murdered by Sol.
No, yeah, but only because May comes running down.
From the fire, yeah.
Yeah, because she's like, fire.
Yes.
Mother, there's a fire. And then she walks in, and like obviously the four of them are standing in the courtyard, and it's just like, okay, here we go. And then like you say, like Mother Anasaya starts doing the old smoky.
Yeah.
And Coral's like looking like she's about to lunge at Torbin, so he sparks his saber up. Yeah. And then Sol's looking, and he thinks it's Osha, doesn't he? Because he's like, Osha, like that.
Yes.
And he's like, what's she going to do? And then he obviously just takes the decision to put his saber out and just stab her up. Which is, I think he realizes straight away, even before she says, I was going to let her go with you, that he's made a big mistake.
In fairness to Sol, but surely because she went smoky, he didn't know where the fuck she was.
Well, this is it. Like, you know, like, is she doing something that's going to like potentially kill them, or you know what I mean? He had to make a snap decision, didn't he?
Or is she sacrificing herself, like in an Obi-Wan way? I don't know.
Well, no, because I think like May started to smoke up as well a little bit, and I don't know. Maybe she was just trying to protect her because she knew it was May, and the Jedi wanted Osha. Maybe she was just going to try and like whip her out of the situation and put her somewhere safe or something.
Yeah,
sort of out of the way. I don't really know. But obviously he just made a snap decision, probably based on emotion, and went.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I was going to let her go with you. And he's like, oh shit.
And obviously she then gets very upset by seeing her mother being murdered.
Mate, but Sol lets her beat him up. Because he knows he's done wrong. Like she's proper pounding him, and he's not really trying to hit her back. If you watch it, he's just kind of like half-hearted dodging, but like takes a few punches in the face and stuff. And he's just kind of resigned to it. He's like, yeah, I'll probably deserve that actually. And she's like, fire me back. And he's just like, no. And then eventually he cuts her staff, doesn't he? Because he's like, okay, I'm getting a bit annoyed about getting whacked in the face so much. But
it's hurting a little bit.
And then all
But
it,
then obviously we cut to all the witches having a little left and right dance.
yeah, having a little bit of a bob,
Yeah.
listening to the latest Beyonce.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But that was good though, because it was just like, you shouldn't have bought him here. And Torben's
That
like,
was
no,
very good. No,
no,
my
no, I'm
mind is
fortified.
shut.
I'm
Yeah.
fortified. My mind is my own. It's all good. And they're like, not you.
No, the fucking beast.
Oh,
Of all the ones to fucking manipulate, Jesus.
I bet you were like, oh no.
I was until he came flying in with a lightsaber. I thought, fuck, this looks great.
Yeah.
His fighting style's amazing. So
Yeah.
obviously he's a bit tall, bit big, bit slow, but fucking powerful.
Yeah, exactly. And you could like obviously the way that he fought was like it played into all of that, wasn't it? It was quite long sweeps of the saber and a bit ploddy, but he was like throwing kicks in and things as well, trying to use his
Yeah,
strength. And yeah.
yeah,
And the way that
he,
he just like force pulled Torben in and then like just slammed him up against the wall, I thought was like a nice contrast between like his Jedi power and his Wookiee power, if that makes sense.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And Torben was like, you could just tell that he was on his last absolute ounce of strength, pure adrenaline to stop that blade like slicing him in half, because Wookiees are so powerful, aren't they? Like strength wise, that he must have literally just been like, this, I can't hold this forever because fucked.
yeah, exactly. No, it was amazing, and obviously we started seeing the scars on Frodo's face and why he was scarred later on, and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, this to those three characters especially has really messed them up, and you can see why. You know, like later on in the episode, why obviously Kanaka goes to his retreat and just doesn't want to be a Jedi anymore, and then
Yeah.
why Master Torben is in a 10-year meditation, and Soul's probably on the outside doesn't look that affected, but obviously is affected.
Yeah.
And, well, Master Enduro, we don't really know too much about it, really, do we? Because the first time we see her is when she dies.
And to be fair to her as well, like she says to them, don't go, well, like we don't want a conflict, like we do not want to like get into a fight.
Don't give. I told you not to get involved.
Don't like, just don't. And I'm thinking to myself, why is that? Is she just being a straight up Jedi? No, we don't go in there with our weapons and stuff. We just go into chat. Or is she in on whatever potentially Venestra's in on?
Yeah, well, that's it. We don't know. I mean, I get the impression. I thought it was more like she's playing by the rules and she's just very experienced and unemotional. She's the Jedi we know, and the fact that, I mean, she comes flying in Matrix style on some wires and sort of, I mean, this was a bit odd. Obviously, the fact that she's trying to get this shit out of Kanaka's head, and then all the witches go, oh, just fucking kills them all off. I mean,
Yeah.
Because we did say in that episode 3, when we were reviewing that's like, something massive must have happened to kill all those witches. You know what I mean? Like, if someone's come in with a fucking machine gun, just blasting them all like fucking laser, you know what I mean? Just kind of wipe them all out in one hit. But obviously it's done via the mind.
Yeah, but that's the thing that makes me like question Indara, because that, and the fact at the end she's like, well, we told them the truth. There was a big fire and it killed everyone. And I'm just like, she does play it like a straight up Jedi, but I get the feeling that there's something going on in the background.
Just like there is with Venestra.
Yeah, and like I think, maybe her and Venestra are in cahoots, either just in covering up like bad stuff for the Jedi, or they're actually like in on some sort of dark side shit, maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fight between Kalneka, Soul, and Torben was really good. Really enjoyed it. I didn't quite understand why they all died just like that. Like Indara has obviously done something through the mind read or whatever. But now speaking to you, it seems a little bit more clearer. But yeah, so that's basically what happened. And then obviously Soul goes after the kids and we get the bridge scene. Someone online was like, Why didn't he just pick both of them up with the Force rather than the bridges?
True. Yeah, he looked like he was making a lot of effort.
Yeah, it's taking
You
a lot
know,
out of him.
Usually, I mean, to be fair to you, I mean, I know Yoda's a master, so he's different. So he's got more power. But yeah, for a couple of little bridges, with some light girls on, he's like, he's like proper going for it. And he's like, oh, I must choose one. It's like, oh, I can't choose the one I want.
Yeah, but mind you, he had just been fighting a possessed Wookiee, and also like, do you know what I mean? Might have taken a little bit of strength out of him, maybe.
Mate, as we know, like whenever you got to fight a possessed Wookiee, that knackers the fuck out of you.
Them's the rules. I love the whole like when he's getting choked out as well. A proper Lando moment.
Yeah.
Where he's getting choked, like.
Yeah, it definitely it's some great, and even when I think he sort of done that sort of Wookiee where they put their arms out wide and then sort of jumps in, like there's some really fucking great maneuver. That's what I mean. I just love that character. Just to be honest, I love all the Wookiees. I thought the one in Boba Fett was amazing as well.
You do. You just love a Wookiee, don't you, mate?
Yeah, just think and dress them up slightly differently. They're just brilliant. Very good at kitchen. Very good at mechanics.
And now decent with a lightsaber.
Now decent with a lightsaber, yeah.
So then we get the sort of the epilogue, I suppose you'd call it, where they're back on the ship and Osha's on the old breathing apparatus and everything, and then Torbin's finally like, I'm really sorry. Just wanted to go home.
Just wanted to go. Oh man. And yeah, it's sort of a bit of a fight between Endura and Soul though, right?
Yeah, so that's what I mean, because
scuffle.
Indara's like, right, well, we better talk to the council, and they all kind of go, yeah, and she's like, Torbin's like, well, what will we tell them? She's like, we'll tell them the truth. And Soul goes, yeah, we should definitely do that. And she's like, yeah, May started a big fire and everyone carked it, and we managed to get Osha out, and that's what happened, sort of thing. And he's like,
yeah.
And she's like, don't take away Osha's dream now.
Yes, now
she's
lost her family. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So but Indara's using Soul's emotion against him there.
Yeah.
To kind of cover up like exactly what happened, you see?
Yeah. Because he wanted to face the council, didn't he? He goes, I must face the council.
Yeah.
No, just stay out of it. Just stay out of it. Council on a need-to-know basis. Just stay out of it.
That's what I mean.
Just say there was the fire, right? And then we go to a bit of witchy music at the end.
Yeah. Someone else online said that they played the Kylo Ren music as well during the lightsaber fight. I didn't hear it myself.
No, I didn't hear that.
No. But then also, speaking of music, what the fuck was that at the end?
The credits music, you mean? The poppy witch music.
Yeah, what the...
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a bit weird.
I mean, that ain't Star Wars, is it? Come on.
No.
Fuck's sake.
Poppy witch music.
I mean, the mood of it kind of worked, but I was just like, oh no. So I did look it up before we started recording. Apparently, it was a song that was written for the show with the composer and like another artist or something, and it's called "The Power of Two." So it kind of links in to like what we've seen.
Sort of the theme.
Yeah, but it's just it's not the way to do it though, is it?
No.
Come on.
So what were our predictions then for our last episode? It's our last episode, isn't it, coming up?
Well, it's the last step, isn't it, next week? So Quaimir's either got to die or survive. Like, they're really setting it up, to have a season 2. They could easily do a season 2, couldn't they?
They are. I didn't realise this cost 180 million.
Apparently so, yeah.
Like, it doesn't look like it cost that, considering pretty much everything looks like it's been shot in Surrey or Wales. Doesn't it?
Yeah, but they got to fly everyone out there, Paolo.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean? Ryanair's not that cheap when you've got 100 people coming over.
But then Obi-Wan only cost 90.
Did it? Yeah, but you know why? Because they did most of it on the volume.
On the volume, yeah.
So,
fucking Obi-Wan's.
And you bet you
Surely we
McGregor's
give
fee was
Obi-Wan more money.
yeah, but you can guarantee McGregor's fee was probably like 10 million or something.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I mean?
he's exec producer as well.
Oh, well, there you go. See,
Double it.
he's quids in.
But that's what I mean. Like, but how come not Ahsoka? How come the Acolyte costs like nearly double than Obi-Wan? It doesn't matter. I know Obi-Wan's only 6 eps, right? Maybe that was it.
Don't know. Maybe I mean, obviously doing it all on location, that's obviously going to be more expensive anyway.
Yeah, sure.
But I don't know. Maybe they spent $60 million on making Yoda for the last episode or something.
Maybe this is where them, or maybe just the last ep's going to be an hour and a half.
Apparently, it's going to be another 45 minutes again.
Okay.
That's what I've heard on the grapevine, but that's not confirmed though.
So yeah, he needs to survive. It does definitely feel like it's going to a season 2. I feel
it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Unless that's what that money is, maybe season 1 and season 2. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they've done back to back, but there's got to be someone else involved. There's lots of question marks around these Jedi still. Like this is what I mean. Like I texted you and I was like, there's a lot of questions and answers. Do you know what I mean? Like it's fucking just brought up more. You can see why all those sort of Jedi go back 15 years later and they all become depressed in their own way because of what's happened.
Yeah.
And the way they just got involved with these witches and they sort of fucked their head up a bit. But yeah, like I don't know. I mean, like I said last week, I'd love there to be another Sith involved. Do you know what I mean? Pulling the strings.
Yeah.
And Kwame is just an apprentice.
We've got to find out whether or not Vanestra and Quaimir were master and apprentice at some point, because I just think the lashes on his back and the fact that she's got a light whip and everything just seems too obvious.
What's her story? I don't know. We are building up to the fact that these two together is sort of the chosen one together. Do you know what I mean? Like these two twins. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's the two of them that killed Quaimir, because Quaimir's obviously looked unstoppable in front of all those Jedi, because it's only really Soul he hasn't killed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, he just wiped them all out. So I don't know if it's the two of them together. That's the power. And we might use a bit of witchy stuff on there.
Yeah, and there might be a little bit more flashback of them getting back to Coruscant after what happened on Brendok and stuff, and maybe Vanestra and Indara having a little conflab in a side room where they're just like, Indara's like, this is exactly what happened, but obviously we can't tell anyone properly. And then, I mean, we might get one little scene with the High Council and cheeky little green fella.
Oh, I hope so.
Be nice, wouldn't it? Be nice, as long as it wasn't just jammed in just for the sake of it, as long as it made sense. But maybe they go to the High Council and lie in front of them. That could be quite tasty.
That would be tasty.
And then obviously we've got the twins' fate has got to be decided as well. I still quite like the idea of all of them turning on Quaimir and then the Jedi being like, we can't have any survivors, like, at all.
Yeah, I think that's a good one as well, because we don't know any of these by Phantom Menace, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I did see the other day, like who is around this time. Obviously we know Yoda's around, Chewbacca's around. Obviously Jabba the Hutt's around because he's been mentioned already.
Yes.
The Hutts. So yeah, there's like a few characters. Yaddle, whatever her name is, she'll be around. Obviously, we've seen Thingy as well. So yeah, like
Kayani Bundy.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not that we see Chewbacca, but that'd be amazing.
Look at you! Look, you just want Chewbacca to pop up. Look at you!
It's got the old cast back. Mace Windu, bring him back as a little Padawan in the background.
I'll give you odds of 500 to 1 that Chewbacca pops up.
Yeah, okay. Nice one. Just to add more complications to the story.
Yeah. They've done a George Lucas and just put Chewbacca in it.
But we do know Chewbacca's fate, and we do know Jabba the Hutt's fate. You know what I mean? So at least we know what happens to them.
I mean, to be fair, it might not be Jabba. It might be just like the Hutts.
Yes,
might be Zero the Hutt. Do you remember him?
Zero the Hutt.
Hello, boys.
He wasn't the Jedi Hutt, was he? Have you ever Googled Jedi Hutt?
No, he was the one. He was the one who looked like Graham Norton.
Right. Okay. Zero that. The twins as well. They were around, the twins.
Oh yes.
So
But
yeah, well,
no, one
let us
more rep
know.
to go.
Yeah.
So,
And we'll
very
be back
exciting.
next week to have a look at that one as well.
Absolutely,
So
series finale. Do give us a follow on Twitter at UK Star Wars Pod. Give us your thoughts and feelings on the Acolyte or anything Star Wars. We'd love to interact with you. Best shout out. We'll give you a shout out on the next pod as well if you particularly pique our interest. But yeah, for now, Paolo, any final words or
no, let's just bring it on.
bring it on? Bring on Chewbacca.
Bring on Chewbacca.
All right, then, for myself and for on behalf of Paolo, we'll say see you next time and may the force be with you all.
Starting our approach, deactivate the security shield.
Security deflective shield will be deactivated when we have confirmation of your code transmission. Stand by.